All right, welcome everyone. We're going to give just a few minutes for people to log on and then we will get started. Just a couple more minutes. Okay, we'll get started and people may join in. So welcome to our webinar this afternoon. The topic is Ancillary Profit Centers, what to offer and why. I am Danielle Bauer. I'm CLA's Director of Membership and Education and will be your facilitator today. For our webinars this year, what we are trying to do is have topics that repeat what was a feature article in Planet Laundry magazine. So you can see on the screen that this topic was the feature article in the July issue. So hopefully you all had a chance to read it. What we're trying to do today is bring in some of the individuals who were interviewed for this issue and give you a chance to learn a bit more and ask questions of them. So if you'd like to ask questions, on the right-hand side of your screen is a control panel, and near the bottom there is a box that says questions. So at any point during this, you can go ahead and type your questions. We do have a few questions for the panelists that we'll get through, and then we'll have time at the end for your questions. So, but feel free to add them in there at any point. So I would like to introduce our panelists today. Our third panelist has not joined yet, so I'm not sure if he's running late. He may pop in. That was Joe Jepson with O-Town Laundry. We also have Matt Gabris with the Wash Basket in Michigan. And we have Travis Unima from Brio Laundry in the state of Washington. So welcome. Thanks for joining us today. All right, so I'm going to remove the screen so everyone can get a better view of you guys. All right, so let's start. Matt, you're on my left. We'll start there. So to help our audience, especially if they didn't get a chance to read the article, get to know each of you, if you can start by sharing a little bit about your business. So how long you've been in the business, how many stores, how many staff, just to get a better perspective.
Yeah, pretty simple on that. My wife and I have been in the business for 10 years, and we have one employee. We are in a town of a village of about 800 with about, kind of a geographical, I guess, demographic reach of about 2,500 in our area. Our closest laundromat is about 8 miles away. As far as other choices for people. And I think that's it. It's our, I guess that kind of answers that question straight. Yeah.
You did mention though, you're in a town of 800, but in summer it becomes resort area, so it swells up a bit.
Yeah, more than quadruples in size as far as numbers. So summer is definitely our busy season. Right.
Wow,
Live around a lot of lakes, and it's northern Michigan, so it's a beautiful area up here.
great. And how about you, Travis? Same thing, a little bit more about the business.
Travis Unima, owner of Brio Laundry in Bellingham, Washington. Brio Laundry was started 10 years ago by my mother, and I bought her out 2 years ago, so I've owned it for 2 years. Bellingham's a city of about 80 to 100,000 people, and there's quite a few laundromats around us, and it's kind of a high adventure area. Everyone's doing a lot of different activities, and which means they wear different gear and stuff like that. So
Good for the laundry business. So we'll stick with you, Travis. So if you can share, so based on the article, the additional services that you have made to the laundromat and kind of what made you choose this particular service, and did you ever consider other options?
yeah, so the first one, the biggest ancillary service we have was designed when we built the laundry originally, was our soap sales. So we have a front counter where the attendant is, and there's just soaps and detergents and dryer balls, anything laundry product related, we kind of sell there. So it was designed to be that way. We don't have vending machines. It's all personal, and it's a very, I don't know if you saw the picture in the magazine, but it's like, wooden shelves, white painted, nice lights on it all. So that would be our biggest ancillary center.
And so what made you choose it, I guess, is it was there, right?
Well, yeah, for me it was there. So the credit goes to my mother who designed it, and it's the attraction, it's the center. It's got when everyone walks in, it's bright and it's white, and that's where you're seen and you're drawn to. So people come in the store, they check in up there, and that's where they ask the question. Especially new people come in and, hey, I don't have soap. We got soap for you. We can help you out. So it serves many purposes, not just sales, but it's also a focal point for customers when they come in. They know where to go and who to talk to.
I assume, do you offer a variety of brands of soap?
Yes, we do. We have very many, and it's always rotating and cycling. So we're always trying to get the newest and best, and try new things. And it's a great talking point with customers. One of the newest things we got was fabric softener sheets that are fragrance free. And I don't know how it works because they go in the drum with it. So trying out new stuff, talking to customers about it, it's fun. It's exciting because they come in every week and they're doing laundry. So having something new for them to talk about and try and recommend products, the ones that we like, we keep, and we recommend them to people.
That's great. Good service. So how about you, Matt? What is the additional service that you made, and what made you choose this one?
Yeah, so the one that was highlighted in the magazine was our massage chair. We've always kind of thought about, we have folks that come into our laundromat anywhere from 40 minutes to 90 minutes. And, we want to have offerings for all of those 90 minutes if we can, have something for them to do, have something to do or to spend their money on and get connected with the laundromat. We really want to, have our customers think of the laundromat as their laundromat, kind of takes them a little bit of, brand loyalty, if you will. So the massage chair, I used to travel a lot in my other job, and I'd see them in airports and things like that. And then my wife and I are regular attendees of the clean show, and we saw those offered at the clean show, and it was kind of funny. I was kind of watching people go up there and test them out, and I looked over to the left, and there was a fellow laundromat owner. I said, "Are you buying one of these?" He goes, "Nope, I'm buying 8 of them." And so I said, "Oh, that's a pretty good stamp of approval." And so we bought it, I don't know, the last clean show, so that's probably just about a year ago.
Yeah.
And it's been really popular. It's had a little bit of a slow start, but people really like it. And kind of jumping ahead to another question, the word has gotten out in our small town, but really anytime I'm in a laundromat, I'll be walking around doing my chores, emptying my baskets or cleaning a machine or, fixing something. And there'll be somebody that's, doing their laundry or maybe standing a little bit idle, and I'll say, hey, have you tried the massage chair? And they, so no, so they'll say no. I said, well, it's your lucky day. It's free massage chair day. So I'll give them a buck or two to try it. And, 8 times out of 10, 9 times out of 10 or so, they're hooked. So, that dollar or two is well spent marketing. So
Yeah.
we have some regulars that just come in the laundromat just to do the massage chair. So it's kind of funny.
That's crazy. So it kind of does lead into our next question. So I'll stick with you. Like, can you provide a rough estimate of the net profit for this, and how long did it take before you actually sort of turned a profit, knowing you had to purchase the chair?
Yeah, so I'll kind of do backwards math a little bit. So the chair was around $3,000. I think the first month we did a few $100s, and it just kind of sitting there. Typically off season we'll do maybe $50 a week or up to $100 a week, and then during peak season, which is late spring up into mid fall, up in the $100, $150 a week or so. So I mean, if you do the math, by times 52, it's better than a 1-year payback. So that's, what is that, 10 times better than the stock market. That's a pretty good investment. So
Definitely.
And cost of operation is nil. It's literally electricity, and I have my attendant, clean it when it looks like it needs cleaning. So really not much. Obviously it's taking up some space in my laundromat, which, the square footage I always look at is, I guess there's some sort of cost there, but it's well placed. We want our laundromat to be not congested and crowded, and certainly no fire hazards, by blocking anything, but again, kind of occupying the space that we can sell. We have other sources of revenue in there as well, some vending for snacks and sodas, or in other regions of the country, pop. We have some games. We have a kids corner for our kids. We don't charge for that, but we have a soap dispenser, and then we have we've got TV too. So in our small town, we kind of call it a small town Saturday night. People come down there, play a video game, get a massage, watch TV, have a snack. It's kind of pretty popular.
Hey, never get them to leave.
No, I know. Yeah, keep spending.
So Travis, same with you, and I don't know if this goes back to, before you officially took over, but if you know what the net profit is and how long it took to make a profit on the products.
Yeah, so the exact building cost of the soap center or area, I don't really know. But what I do know is about every month we sell about $5,000 to $6,000 worth of soaps and other accessories each month. So about 50, and we mark up 100%. So half of that goes to the wholesale cost of the items. So we're looking at right that $3,000 profit mark each month, just for the amount of soaps and stuff we sell. It's a great talking point. People love trying new stuff, and we move a lot of soap through there. So I don't know the exact turnaround time, but to start making a profit on it. But if you buy something for $10, you sell it for $20. We do 100% markup on everything.
Great. So Travis, so do you market that particular service specifically, and do you think it brought in new customers that may not have come to your mat otherwise?
In a way, the way I go about it is using photos of it. It's our main purpose there is laundry. So I got to never let go of that site, that laundry is what we do, not selling soap. It's always a side thing. It's almost like an addition to, hey, come in, we got clean washers and dryers, and we got we sell curated soap. So it's always like an accessory and add-on. I'll never advertise it directly that come there just for that reason. Yeah, I like to keep my marketing focused, but I like to throw in a little bit of snippets here and there.
Yeah, the bonus, maybe the bonus that other laundromats don't offer in your area. How about you, Matt? I know you definitely have customers that come in that may not have otherwise if they're coming in to play video games and sit in the chair. But do you guys market the massage chair, or it's just sort of something they find when they come in?
You know, the marketing is, we don't put any ads out on specifically the massage chair. We really focus our marketing that we would pay physical dollars for. We kind of partner with community donations and charities and groups. We really like to, you know, be seen as an integral part of the community. So when you know, the football team is selling spots on their t-shirts, or you know, we get a, you know, charity golf scramble or things like that, we always jump on that stuff. Or the Lions are doing something, we get a lot of, you know, we do a lot of, I guess, printed that way. You know, we don't do radio, we don't do, you know, paid newspaper ads. We do it that way. But you know, again, the marketing is you know, kind of like guerrilla marketing. While we're in the store itself, we push that. Or, you know, we always try to push, you know, the first and foremost, we always push for a clean, well lighted, friendly, and convenient laundromat. You know, as far as bad experiences, we try to curb those very quickly. You know, we take customer complaints, which are kind of few and far between, very seriously. Myself or my wife will, you know, or my one attendant, who's a lot more popular than I am, will personally talk to, you know, anybody who has a complaint, and we'll make it right. I think we've, you know, very few customers, we kind of notice the trend. They're kind of constant complainers, and we just, you know, still very nice to them. So, you know, kind of tell them, you know, say what you mean, but don't say it mean, kind of thing is the saying. And you know, if they want to try a different laundromat, see if it's better, then go ahead and do that. And you know, that curves it right away, because people say, no, we like coming here. But you know, it's always that, just kind of I think I've said it on previous webinars too. You know, it doesn't really cost much to put an extra quarter or two in the dryer for somebody, or you know, give them a free soda, or give them a massage every now and then, and word gets out. It just kind of helps the brand as far as being a good place to come. And you know, obviously keep it, like I said, clean, comfortable, well lighted, and friendly. It's always positive.
I'd like to add one more thing to mine. I forgot. So like when I do some other ancillary services like wedding dresses or leather or something like that, we have sandwich board signs. So we put those out on the road, and you can change the message really cheaply. And you can also add your main focus of marketing, but on there, so someone thinks like, hey, when they're headed out to the car, oh yeah, they do leather or wedding dresses or horse blankets. Kind of gets them thinking. So it's a very cheap way to advertise and just kind of have it there consistently, and then someone will see it, and eventually they'll just bring something in, you know, like, hey, got my wedding dress, need to be cleaned, or they'll talk to someone else. So kind of the repetition of marketing, and you can do it very cheaply, like with sandwich boards is what I use mainly for like the ancillary services.
Yeah, good idea, because they're already your customer. So now you're just growing, you know, the things they're bringing in. So, Travis, what, if any, were some of the challenges that you were experiencing in providing these ancillary services? And did you have to renovate any space or add staff to accommodate?
So for the biggest mistake I made was added too many too quickly. So I went for wedding dresses, horse blankets, leather, and rugs all like the same time, which was great, but storage and tracking was the biggest issues I had, the biggest problems I wasn't planning for. When someone brings in a 10-foot rug, where do you put it? And then when they come pick it back up, you got to find a place to store it. So it's just stuff I didn't anticipate right away. Or horse blankets, they smell terrible. You know, then you have to deal with that. So planning ahead of time would help a little bit, and not doing it all at once, because they all work smooth. It's just you got to do it sequentially, and then having software or a paper system or some way to track it, especially if you send out the service, like say the horse blankets. I have a partner they just do horse blankets. So having a way to track that is huge, and storage. So and it's more training for your attendants too. The more stuff you do, the more items you have to train them on, the more tracking there is. So, with more business comes more cost. So depends on how much you want to add. I would just say add one thing at a time, get that system down, and then look to add another one.
Very good advice. How about you, Matt? Did you guys have any challenges in providing it, or obviously there has to be space for a massage chair? Did you have to do anything with space or staff to accommodate having it?
Not really. Again, we had, before we bought it, we thought, do we have the space for this? And I had a few spots picked out in the laundromat that could, and we had to move it around a little bit. That didn't quite fit there. It was kind of clunky or awkward. We found a space that just so happens to be right next to one of our games and in front of the TV, and it doesn't block anything. So that seemed like the perfect spot. And then just trying to think the other piece to that. There were a few folks that we found that we thought, oh boy, massage chair, everybody's gonna like that, and some people just won't. But there are some folks with back issues and things like that it just wasn't for them. They just said, ooh, it hurts, kind of thing. And it's not an intense massage by any means, but it's we just have to be cautious of that. The one service that I would say when we bought the laundromat 10 years ago, there really wasn't a wash, dry, fold. There had been, and then there hadn't been to an owner that wasn't. It's kind of absentee, and we started the wash, dry, fold up kind of slowly, but then we did a little bit of I would say it's kind of marketing to do it, and I guess kind of what Travis said, just thinking of where are we going to store this? If customers don't come and pick their stuff up after a certain amount of days, what if we get busy? We just all of a sudden every summer or busy season for us, we seem to get more and more and more, and it's getting overcrowded at times if we don't manage the flow of that. So we're always thinking for the future and what's next. And we're actually talking about some other ideas, and one of those is expanding that area. We can expand those services and maybe even get up to a pickup and delivery service. But we have some things to think about before we do that, like storage. So
Yeah. So going back to the massage chair, is there any additional, I guess, cost or staffing related to maintenance of it? I assume it's fairly new and maybe hasn't had a lot of issues, but
staffing, there's a little bit.
oh, you're kind of cutting out unless it's just me.
Yeah, there's one feature
There
on
we
it. Yeah, if people sit in it and just sit in it to lounge and not use it, then it starts beeping, and people don't like that. And some people, there was one person that couldn't hear very well, and my attendant doesn't sit very far from there. She actually went over there and said, hey, you can't sit in there if you don't pay, and she didn't realize it was beeping, so it gets kind of annoying. But I guess that's to deter just that, so people can use it.
Right.
But as far as maintenance goes, no, it's very, very maintenance free. I mean, there's no, I can get into it if I need to, but the company that I bought it from, I can order the small motor. That's the only thing that really needs replacing, and hopefully I won't have to do that for several years. So.
Great. So Travis, if someone was looking to expand offerings in their laundromat, what would you say is your best advice you would have for them to be successful?
If it's profitable and it's working for you, keep doing it, but just plan ahead. So with say for example, all the soaps we have, that's a lot of money in inventory that you're gonna have, you're gonna hold on to, and you gotta have a place to store it. You're gonna need resellers permits and tracking it, taxes on it. You need a software that can record your inventory so your inventory doesn't go missing. If customers have issues, they open it and it's something's wrong with it or it's damaged, something like that. So just planning, tracking, storage, and just make sure it's still profitable for you. Like Matt was saying with the wash, dry, fold, we had the same problem with storage. whether it's an ancillary service or your main service, if you're having a problem with it, you got to figure out how to solve it. So some of the ways I do it, if I don't have enough space, I'll increase the price to reduce the quantity. That's one of the easiest things that I do. And yeah, that's kind of, it's ancillary services are great, but if they become a headache, I would just ditch them and move on and keep your focus.
Good advice. How about you, Matt? Best advice if someone wants to add something to their laundromat?
Yeah, I would say, well, I would say first and foremost, of course, read Planet Laundry. There's lots of good ideas in there, and don't be too scared of it. You know, everything's a risk. You know, life is a risk in some form or fashion. And you know, if you're right on the edge of cutting a profit or anything like that, maybe a little more risk averse. But you know, if it doesn't work like this, one of the games we bought, we were a little bit apprehensive. But actually, one of our distributor who sold us equipment, who gets around to a lot of laundromats in the state of Michigan, you know, he came and said, "Hey, Matt, you know, there's a few guys that are doing this, and you should think about that." And you know, he said, "You know what? If it doesn't work, there's always, you know, Facebook Marketplace, or there's always you can resell it. So don't be too risk averse." I mean, I say that, you know, I'm sure there's, you know, big ventures. You know, we're actually going to go into a bigger venture, kind of get invested in a car wash and a doggy wash. But you know, the smaller ones, you know, I would say just you know, take a run at it, and don't be afraid to market it, you know, internally, and build customer loyalty to it. One of the things, Danielle, I did fail to mention when, as far as additional services, is we had, you know, we're fairly small, so having our own maintenance person was pretty much out of the question. You know, I did what I could, but both my wife and I have day jobs as well. So, you know, we found somebody in the area that we know pretty well, and he could do it for us, but he was looking for something a little more permanent, a little more you know, more regular income. So I've actually set up a service and repair kind of business with him. So I do talk to other laundromat owners, and it's kind of I kind of share them with other laundromats. And you know, all the billing goes through me, of course. And of course, I take my percentage. But you know, I kind of, in order to have a maintenance person when I need them, I kind of got him on staff, and I only pay for a portion of him. So, you know, I would say, I'm sure all of us look at other laundromats maybe as competition, but I would look at the similarities versus the differences, and see if you can partner with them to you know, to do something like that. So
That's a great idea, because you know, that's one of the biggest things, especially new owners, is how do I manage the maintenance, especially if you're not very savvy with fixing things, or sometimes it's just beyond your expertise. So that's a really great idea.
yeah.
So we do have a few questions, and anyone else who has it, feel free to type in. So the first question is, someone wanted to know some good services for those of us that may be space challenged as far as extra square footage. So I think the one thing we didn't cover at the very beginning is if you guys could share the square footage of your stores, and how many washers and dryers, just so they can get an idea of the size of your stores and what you've added.
Yeah, so 3,500 square feet, and we got 36 washers, 36 dryers, and then we have 3 combination washer dryers.
Okay. And Matt, you mentioned yours was small, but what's... Oh, you're cutting out a little bit again. Sorry. Yeah, I still can't hear. Sorry. I don't know if it's...
A little bit?
Yes, there we go.
So about 1,700 square feet. I've got 44 pieces of equipment. I've got 10 stack machines, so 20 pockets on the stacks, and then I've got 4 55-pound dryers, and then the rest are, of course, washers, combination of I've got 5 top loads, and then I've got 2 60-pounders, then 40-pounders. I've got 3 30-pounders, and kind of right down the road. So 44 machines. So I mean, we're compact, but we're not claustrophobic in there. So
Okay.
yeah.
So this person's wanting to know, services for space challenged. So for the massage chair, do you have an estimate of how much square footage that would take up in a store to know if that's something?
Yeah, so the one thing with the massage chair is it's just like a lounge chair, but you have to plug it into a wall. So I don't know, is that
Near
I
an
guess
outlet, yeah.
like 3 foot by 3 foot. But the one thing is when it lays back, there's obviously some square footage there that doesn't touch the floor. But you have to have some room there. So I would call it probably 15, 20 square feet, somewhere in that area. For that. We do have one vending machine, or it's a game. It's a coin pusher. It's very small square footage, and I've seen them in a lot of laundromats, and they for small areas. And then I know there's some folks and some owners don't agree with that, but they do pretty well. So that's one of the things we put in a few years ago, and it's more than paid for itself. So.
Travis, I would imagine your soap counter is a little more square footage than that.
Yeah, it's quite a bit of square footage, but it serves a lot of purposes because that's where the attendants do their laundry, and that's where they, loyalty card recharge and gift cards and sales and stuff like that. So it serves, and janitorial storage is also there. So it serves many purposes. One of the smallest space ones is wedding dresses. If the service I use, you send it out, and they have an option where you ship it. When they finish cleaning it, they ship it right to the customer or the bride's home. So you take it in and you ship it out, and then that's it. That's the end of the transaction, really.
That's interesting. What about, and this is because I'm a woman, and what if something happens to that dress? Is the liability with you as the laundromat owner or the company?
It's with the company, and it's all insured, and there's a whole sheet they go through. So it's pretty cool to check out some of those wedding gown preservation companies, because they have so many options, and they're very reputable, and they're easy to use, and the not having to store it or keep it, and it goes right back to the bride's house. They love that.
Yeah, that's a great service. Let's see, next question for you, Matt. This is more about the chair itself. So you mentioned that it beeps when someone shouldn't, when they're not paying. Are there other features like adjusting speed or choosing the areas that it massages? I know I sat on some at like a nail salon. I assume it's kind of those same options.
Yeah, so no, you put the dollar bill or the $5 bill in, and it's one massage. There's no
Oh.
options, which is, some people like that, some people don't. As an owner, I like that just because it's pretty simple.
Yep, easier maintenance too, probably.
Yeah, very low maintenance. So, I did look at a few of them. I didn't buy the cheapest one. I didn't buy the most expensive one. So I'm thinking that was a wise decision, but it's kind of, I didn't want to have to fix it in a year or two, and I wanted to hang on to it for a while, and I didn't want to spend a small fortune either. So
Makes sense. Travis, this one's for you. Since your demand is so high, how many months out do you normally stock up on your supplies?
That's a good question. Probably about 2 months, 2 to 3 months. And then once you get your inventory to like a set amount, you can just kind of restock it. And the wholesalers usually sell them in boxes of 12 or 10. So the point of sale software I have has the ability to say I have 100, and when I get down to 50 of them, it'll send me a reminder to order it. So the software is really nice, makes inventory management pretty awesome, but you also have to get in there and count it, or have your manager count it too, just to make sure it's accurate. So I'd say 2 to 3 months of product that we keep in like their back storage, and then up front as well. And if something gets backed up, then we can do a sale or a promotion, or free soap giveaway or a prize and something like that.
Great. So our last is kind of a comment. Matt, someone's wishing you good luck with the doggy wash. And it's too bad our third panelist wasn't on here because that's exactly what his service was, is a dog wash attached to the laundromat. So for those of you who were interested in that, be sure to read that article. But just curious, Matt, what made you guys decide dog wash when considering, you know, any other option?
Well, it was a few things. Number one, we're dog lovers. My wife and I have had dogs since before we were married. You know, we're 23 wonderful years ago. And but also, you know, in our community, I'm sure like many communities, dogs are very near and dear to people's hearts. And there's nothing in the area that does that. I mean, we can take them to a grooming service, but you know, you're going to spend, you know, quite a bit of money, whereas a dog wash is anywhere from $8 to $10 to do that. So, you know, again, thinking about being first in the area, and obviously we have water and sewer, and we have space, and again, thinking about that business model as we've got people for 30 to 90 minutes. What else could they be doing?
Right.
And we get a lot of customers that you know, that park outside, put their laundry in, and we don't have a lot of seating. We have some, but they'll sit in their cars and their dogs will be with them. So, and we have the space, we have the real estate, we have to build on a bit, but you know, we figured, you know, why not again expand on the experience and you know, capitalize on the time that they're already here, and you know, all of those multitaskers out there that are looking for something to do, bam, there you go. And you know, obviously we want to be viewed as dog friendly as well. You know, we've got a water dish out, we've got, you know, doggy biscuits, and you know, we can advertise that as long as the dogs are well behaved, and you know, we won't. There's no issue. There's never been an issue as long as we've been open. Owners are pretty conscious. So
That's great. Yeah, I have 2 dogs myself. I'm a dog lover, so I love the idea. The other time that it's great is, God forbid, your dogs ever get skunked. It's nice to have somewhere beside your home to rinse them off and get that awful smell out. So
every problem is an opportunity, right? Yeah.
yes, exactly. So let's see. We might have just got one more. So yeah, one of my coworkers is giving me some tips. So for all of you who didn't get a chance to read the article, so it's this issue, sorry, right here. So obviously the dog on the cover, because that is one of the things. A few of the other items that are in here besides the services that Matt and Travis talked about. We have an owner who has a coffee shop, someone who has a machine that provides Bitcoin, and then another one kind of similar to your wedding dress. They do sneaker cleaning, and they actually do it on site though. I think at one point they were thinking about sending it out, but I believe they do it right on site. So just for all of you looking for some interesting and unique ideas, be sure to read the full article, because there's a lot of good ideas there. So
Danielle, one other, I guess I missed one piece when you talked about challenges with ancillary services. You know, Travis was mentioning stock and inventory, but one of the advantages of having one employee is, you know, you get to know them pretty well, and you know, you build loyalty. But one of the challenges also is if that employee gets sick or wants to go on vacation, and especially if they're the captain of the ship when it comes to wash dry fold business. So one thing we always try to do is we always try to have some folks kind of on a list, or that would do it in a pinch, or you know, do it temporarily, that could fill in. Obviously, my wife is a lot better at wash dry fold than I am. I'm pretty much a wash dry guy. You don't want to do me fold, you don't have me folding. You know, just thinking about contingency plans and what if, and you know, those things happen. And when you walk in our office in the summer, which is our wash dry fold center, you know, 1 or 2 days of that person not being there is pretty disastrous. So just kind of keeping that in mind and how you'd handle that.
Yeah, the good advice. So now we did get a one last question here, and I think they're looking at, you know, if they offered something. So do each of you own or lease your building? I think Matt, you guys own.
You know, yeah.
I lease the building.
You lease. Okay. So it looks like, you know, you can add those services either way. I assume some of it has to be discussed with the landlord if you lease. Now we're just getting a couple other questions. One, how to get the article. So yes, I've mentioned the article many times. So on our website, coinlaundry.org, there is a link to Planet Laundry. And when you go to that webpage, this current issue is the first issue. So you can take a look at that. I can also include it in the email that you will get within 24 hours. You're going to get an email that has this recording. So I can put a link in there as well. If you prefer a printed copy and you don't receive print, if you want to send an email to membership@coinlaundry.org and request a printed copy, we'd be happy to send you one. Someone else is asking for articles or books to read when considering buying or building a laundromat. Again, on our website, in our store, we have lots of books. One of the best ones that was written by Coin Laundry Association experts is Today's Laundromat, and it's kind of the nuts and bolts of getting started. Everything from finding your site to finding financing, writing a business plan, pretty much everything you would need to know. So again, coinlaundry.org, and if you go to the store and go under books, you'll see that book there. All right, I believe that is everything. So just a few other resources I wanted to share. So last week, CLA started our own Facebook group, the Laundromat Professionals Network. It's a place where you can go and ask some of the questions you guys have asked today. There's other operators on there that can respond, share ideas. People sometimes post pictures of their laundromats, ask maintenance questions, all sorts of things. So I'd encourage you to join. If you go on Facebook, here's the exact link, but if you go on Facebook and type in this Laundromat Professionals Network, it will bring that up, and you can join. We do have a few other programs coming up. So we have an initiative for women in vended laundry, and we are doing a virtual program on the 31st about transforming stress, how to make it work for you, not against you. And then our article that will be featured or is featured in the August issue of Planet Laundry is Garment Care Basics for Full Service Operators. So again, that's coming out in the August issue, but we're doing a webinar on September 23rd. So on our website, if you go /events, that's our events calendar. All of our events are there. These are all free to sign up for, just like today. In addition to virtual, we do networking events, local networking events in several cities once a month. So for the rest of the year, these are the cities that we'll be in. So if you're located in New England or California, Chicago area, or Georgia, we invite you to come. They're 2-hour dinner events and just purely an opportunity to network and connect with people in your area. And then lastly, we also are putting on, and I know Matt talked a little bit about Wash, Dry, Fold and venturing into the pickup and delivery area. Last year, we hosted our very first Wash, Dry, Fold workshop, and it was highly successful. So it's becoming an annual event. So The one coming up is October 4th through the 6th in Nashville. And it'll start with an evening reception on the 4th and then 2 days of programming. And everything is focused on wash, dry, fold, pickup and delivery, and commercial laundry. So if that's an area you're looking to either get started in, because we do have some breakouts where some are for beginners, some are for more experienced. We're doing a new thing where we're doing some breakouts where some are for owners and some are for managers. So if you even wanted to send your manager, we're trying to cater to everyone, but it's completely focused on this topic. All right, so with that, first, thank you to Matt and Travis for sharing your expertise with us as always. I want to thank all of you for attending today. As I mentioned, this was recorded. You'll get an email automatically within 24 hours that has the recording with it. And if there's any other questions or anything else you need, our staff can be reached at membership@coinlaundry.org. So hope to see you guys at future events. Thank
Thanks, Danielle.
you.